How to perform a barbell back squat. A perfect barbell back squat. The back squat is one of the coolest and most effective exercises you can do. And today, I'm going to show you how to nail it. Nail it with the most impeccable technique. Like any exercise, you want to know what muscles you're working. With the almighty back squat, we're developing the quads due to the knee extension part of the movement, and the glutes with the hip extension element, the adductor magnus, which are located at the inner thighs, also aid with this. This is why you can often feel the love at your inner thighs following some heavy squats. We're also developing the spinal erectors, aka the lower back, as they'll be under isometric contraction. So it's hitting a good few muscles. Before you even start the exercise, before you even think about starting the exercise, there are a few things we want to check. Firstly, ensure the J-cups are positioned low enough so that when you unrack the bar, you don't knock them off on your way out. The last thing you want is to be stuck there with over 100 kilos on your back and no way to re-rack. Conversely, you want them high enough so that you're not adding an extra half squat to the exercise. So find the sweet spot. That's what she said. Also, when possible, use spotters when they're available. When placing the plates on the bar, ensure you tense your guns. This does nothing for your squat, but it tells the rest of the gym that something glorious is about to happen. Ensure equal weight is on both sides of the bar and the bar is centered. You don't want to be doing some kind of weighted cartwheel once you unrack. Grip the bar and position your hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart. When squatting, the hands want to be as comfortably close to your shoulders as possible. This better activates the muscles in your upper back and provides a more stable base for the bar. You can go for a high bar squat with the bar resting up on your traps, or a low bar squat where it's more on your rear delts. A high bar squat is more quad dominant, and the low bar squat gets the glutes more involved. But the difference, it's negligible. So pick the one you feel most comfortable with. Most people tend to go for a higher bar squat, in my opinion, as it's generally less taxing on the lower back. If it's very uncomfortable or pushing into your neck, it's too high. And it's too low if you feel like it's going to break your wrists or slide down your back. If you slowly slide the bar from your upper traps down towards your posterior delts, you should find a secure spot where it's most comfortable. That's a good place for it to be. To unrack, firstly, place your feet underneath the bar, then push your hips forward. Don't quad it up, as this will exhaust your legs. We want these to be fresh so we can impress our gym rival with how awesome our squat is. You now have full control of the bar. So take 3 steps back, one small step followed by a bigger step, and then a mini step to get your feet even. Ensure your feet are slightly wider than shoulder width apart and your toes are slightly pointing outwards. They'll be at a 15 to 30 degree angle. Head up, point elbows slightly back and have equal pressure going through the full foot. Don't put too much pressure, too much weight on your toes or heels, as this will disrupt the bar path. Huge inhale and take that air deep into your diaphragm, subsequently pushing your abdominal wall into your belt and effectively bracing your core. You should feel your belt tighten. Descend by simultaneously pushing your hips back and your knees towards your toes. Don't let your knees track inwards. Absolutely avoid that. Descend at a controlled pace, but not too slow. Around 1 second will suffice, otherwise you'll over fatigue yourself. Squat until you hit just below parallel to the ground with the hip crease just below the knee joint. If you have excessive butt wink, you've gone too far. Once you hit depth, explode up by pressing against the ground while keeping upright. Exhale once you pass the sticking point, around 2/3 of the way up. Essentially, when you're fully out of the bottom position and you know you've made the lift, that's when you can exhale. Once you're back to the stand position with the hips locked out and your glutes contracted, you've completed it. You did it. You son of a gun, you did it. One of the most biomechanically impressive exercises you can do, and you smashed it like it was nothing. I'm proud of you.